What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. It's a girl Ebube Okoye. Here's a quick one. I am late to this video. This is a video that I should have done last year, but guys, I had a lot to do actually. I mean, if you look back to my channel, you see that I have a lot. I have a lot, so I haven't had the chance and the break, to take a pause. Actually, like what I'm going to be sharing in this video is something that I have taken note of ever since last year. In fact, before we even got to the end of last year, but this video is coming later to you and it is a must watch because honest truth is that you cannot fully develop in a new year if you don't have time and if you don't take out some time to reflect on the past year. In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you guys some habits, 9 habits in summary, that have shaped and formed my 2023, that has shaped the female, the human being that I'm entering 2024 as. And that has taught me a lot of lessons, guys. Honestly, 2024 was the most formative year of my life, the most inspiring year of my life, the most year that I experienced diversity in life. Like, there were a lot of times that I was like, what's really going on? And there were times that I was like, yeah, like I was winning and I was counting my losses, and I had it was a roller coaster of a journey in 2023, which above everything, I am actually grateful because it has contributed to my growth, it has contributed to my mental maturity, generally to the way I see life. So, in as much as we actually want life to be smooth, in as much as we always pray for the best, trust me, the most beautiful moments in life are birthed from our bitter experiences. That's why they say when life gives you lemon, what do? You make lemonade. In this video specifically, I'm going to be sharing habits that I developed in 2023 that has helped my journey so far, that has helped me waver life challenges, that has helped me navigate things throughout 2023. Now, I have my book here. This is my hardcover jotter. I write down a lot. I don't know if to call this my diary, but a lot is contained in this book, and it's one of the things that I actually encourage people to do. Try and write down your life lessons, try and write down events of your life. Well, without further ado, let's go ahead and say the number one habit that I formed in 2023 was to be more hopeful, be more courageous in dealing with life, dealing with my anxiety. Guys, I actually learned last year that anxiety is actually kind of a part of life. Why anxiety? Why anxiety? That's what you probably ask. In my journey of life in 2023, I wanted more. I'll be like, where am I getting my testimony? We all want a better tomorrow. Throughout last year, I had times that I would feel unfulfilled. There are times that I'll be like, why am I having certain setbacks? And when would things start making sense? But one word that I stuck by, if you're Christian, was Philippians chapter 4, verse 16, which says, be anxious for nothing, but in everything through prayer and supplication, let your requests be made known unto God. It reminds me to, go to the place of prayer because honestly, at the end of the day, there's nothing that anxiety can solve for you. There is nothing that worries can solve for you, because the time that you're going to spend worrying is the time that you're supposed to spend developing yourself, working on yourself, learning something that you are supposed to be learning. Being courageous and being hopeful was all I had to do, because let me check it out this way. If you're to say, okay, it's getting too much for me, I don't know how to make things work out faster for me, maybe your career, your endeavors, and everything that you're pursuing in life, I would pause. Yes, definitely. I've had times that I would take a moment, deal with my anxiety, process my thoughts, clear my head, declutter, and all of that. But at the end of the day, I found myself coming back to the grind. Last year was a very prominent year of my life. The vision of my life became clearer. So even times that I would actually take a pause, pausing actually made me feel what? Stay trustful, stay stubborn, and stop winging life. Nobody's actually supposed to be winging life. Oh, I'm just winging it. No, you're not supposed to be winging it. You have a purpose, so it's not something that you're supposed to wing. It's something that you're supposed to go with a direction. You're supposed to be in charge of your destiny, I believe. So the kind of courage that I had last year was the kind of courage that came from a build-up of events. So leading from the first onset of 2023, there were events that actually shook me a lot. There were events that made me question a whole lot. There were events that made me want to run out of my body, basically. 2023 kept throwing jobs. Little did I know that all those things were actually preparing me for the toughest times of my life. So when that season came, I actually found out that what I was going through earlier was a little compared to what I'm going through now. And actually, I got prepared by those little things that I felt were way too much, then God can never give you more than you can handle. So as He's putting you through those tests, also giving you the courage, it's also building your capacity, it's also building, your willingness to survive, it's building your wisdom. And another thing about courage is that some kind of challenges come. You find yourself saying, you know what, I've been there. You know what? I've seen worse. I have no choice. I have to remain believing. That is one thing. Find a way to build an anchor. Every kind of pressure that comes your way will hardly, or would never even pull you out from that your anchor. Now, second habit was the habit of joy. This particular habit was the most difficult to build, I must say. 2023 was the saddest year of my life. The most year that I have been heartbroken. 2023 was the year that I saw the darkest side of people. And when I'm even talking about heartbreak, I'm not even talking about like romantic relationship heartbreaks. No, like people that were there to me, that meant a lot to me, actually broke my heart in one way or the other. Like I'm being subtle in the way that I'm expressing this, but even to actually take a little second to reflect on those little moments where I would cry myself to sleep, where I'll be on my way home and I have a long journey, I'm in a ride, and I'll cry all the way home. The moments that I will wake up in the morning and I am crying, I come back at night, I cry myself to sleep. I couldn't get over the thought of, so these people could actually do this thing to me. I had to, at some point, force myself to be joyful, to get over a couple of these things. But so like I said, it wasn't the easiest thing to do, but it was something that I had to do because I didn't want to get depressed. There were a couple of events, like I'm not even talking about like people close to me. There were a couple of life events that kept taking away my joy, kept taking away my peace, and a couple of all of that. One of the things that this kind of situation birthed and created for me something very beautiful was that it brought me closer to God. It was one of the times last year that I found myself saying those quiet silent prayers that I would cry whilst making. And it was actually very, very beautiful because I saw God come true for me. Yeah, I saw God come true for me. I know I've shared a similar story, but that's not the story that I am emphasizing on right now. I know I've shared my encounter with people that took my money in my account, took my phone, took a couple of things through hypnosis. I've shared that in a video. I'll leave it in the description box. But in this exact one, I'm talking about heartbreak from loved ones. I couldn't get over it, and it was one of the prayers that I made, and God did come true. Let me go into a little more details. Okay, God spoke through a prophet, and He had to speak to the people that actually hurt me, and it was a very direct message. So I'm very grateful for that. It was one of the things that actually brought back my joy because looking at it now, the people that hurt me didn't even know they hurt me, but I was hurting. So yeah, 2023, I had people, but I was lonely. 2023, I had to quit whatever that was not giving me joy just so I can have joy. Like some jobs that I had last year. 2023, I learned that there is nothing like joy. There is nothing like having your peace and whatever you're going through. Just don't ever let it eat you up, especially when it's coming from people. Because at the end of the day, these people that hurt you will end up living their life, they are fine, but you're dying on the inside. Before you know it, you're going to have one kind of ailment or the other. You're going to get depressed and all of that, which is not worth it. In this life, people stay offending. People stay offending, even in Fendi. I found it difficult to actually communicate to them that, see how you hurt me. I feel like that's probably one thing that would have helped me, but the thought of this wasn't a one-off thing, it was repeated, and I believe it was an intentional act because I felt like there was a malicious intent behind it. So the third habit, um let's deflect a little to health habit of leading a healthier life. I know fruits are good. I'm a pharmacist, yes. I know the importance of fruits, but I've never really been big on fruits. But starting my weight loss journey last year actually pushed me to start taking fruits and cut down on soda, start taking more water. I actually wanted to lose weight. That was one of the reasons why Why? Of course, I called it a weight loss journey. Yes, so and I was scared of my soda taking habit. So it was one of the things I wanted to cut down. So I had to replace all of that with healthy sugar. So I started taking fruits. Fourth habit that I developed last year, 2023, was the habit of communicating with God, taking my daily prayer life seriously, taking my devotion, reading my Bible, professing the word of God over my life. One of the things that actually birthed this. Before I go into that, firstly, I have been a prayerful person, been a Christian all my life, but I haven't been as intentional as I was last year. I've mentioned earlier, right, in this video, what God did for me, but honestly, it wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't in a place of prayers. I've seen a lot happen for me in the place of prayers. The Bible said, "The broken and the contrite heart, God will never forsake." And I'm not saying that you must have to cry whilst you pray before your prayers get answered. No, but just give a heartfelt prayer. I realized that whenever I pray, I have this peace of mind. There are days that I would wake up with this gruesome fear that I didn't know where it was coming from. I just didn't know. All these things are actually sorted in the place of prayer. Those are just the masters of last year. Yeah. So the number 5 habit that I developed last year, 2023, was the habit of gratitude. Things could have been worse. Life is so precious. I am grateful for life. I am grateful that I am whole. I am grateful for a lot of things. I am grateful that God cannot give me more than I can handle. I am grateful for strength. I am grateful for courage. I am grateful for the big wins and the small wins. I am grateful for family. I am grateful for love. I am grateful for money. Everything. There is everything to be grateful for. Number 6 habit that I formed last year was the habit of communicating with friends, communicating with family, bringing people closer into my life. At the end of the day, I've come to realize that family is everything. Not necessarily like blood, but the people that really matter to you. When I started developing this habit, it was actually out of my selfish interest, because most times I just really needed people to talk to, because life be hitting. But at the end of the day, I got the true essence of it all. Checking up on people, knowing how people are, and people checking up on me. The number 7 habit was the habit of forgiveness. Yeah. This was one of the toughest, because anything that has to do with someone dear to me, hurting me, just shatters me. It disorients me, because I can barely get over the thought process of like, how was this person able to do this to me? So for some, it wasn't just forgiveness. For some, it was letting go. It was let go and let God, because sometimes people hurt you and they don't even get to apologize. Forgiveness comes when there's an apology, but when there is no apology, what you just have to do is just to let go for yourself. Maybe not necessarily for them. You let go to get wiser. I would like to use this opportunity, to tell people to take it easy on the way they scar people, on the way they treat people, on the way they bruise people's emotions, because at the end of the day, you're actually damaging that person. For some, it could just be building walls. For some, they have trust issues. Kind of like have the understanding already that to err is human, to forgive is divine. If you're in a very good position to communicate your feelings, I think that's actually going to be a very good way for healing. The number 8 habit that I formed was the habit of setting goals. And I'm specifically talking about daily goals. Wake up each day, plan on how to better your craft, plan on how to work on your craft, plan on how to improve your knowledge, plan on how to learn something new, plan on how to be more productive. All of these actually lead to more consistency, and more consistency brings you closer, and a lot more closer to your results. It was a conscious effort for me. Wake up in the morning, what is there for me to do today? I look into my craft, and there's always something to work on. Lastly, everything and every phase that I went through last year, 2023, was part of God's plan and God's way of preparing me for what's ahead. And of course, I didn't stop growing in wisdom. I didn't stop growing in experience. I didn't stop growing in knowledge, in every area of my life, mentally, spiritually, physically, psychologically, emotionally, every aspect of my life experienced massive growth. And I'm very thankful for that. I just hope that 2024 is going to be a year of straight to the point. 2023 was a lesson, 2024 is a year of results. Subscribe to this channel, guys. We are 80 subscribers away from 500. Yeah, oh, I check my analytics and I see that most of my viewers are not even subscribed. I don't know why you guys are all chilling there at the backseat waiting for. Subscribe already, okay, so that we can hit this milestone. In February, I'll be turning 1 year on YouTube. February as well is also my birthday. Thank you. And let me see your comments, and I'll see you in my next video.